what we're seeing in the state of Illinois as far as the non-compliance is really incredible, and I'm happy to see it. Because ultimately what you have is you have 1.2 million gun card holders, and now there's this list of products that have been deemed illegal, that you have to register them under these new bans that are in Illinois. And it's not just guns, it's a lot of gun parts, magazines, things like that. Pretty big list of stuff. And as far as who's registered, obviously they don't know who has those things, but chances are if you have one of those things, you have multiple of those things. So I don't think it's just one item per card holder, because if you have a particular firearm, you're obviously going to have multiple magazines for that firearm, so that's multiple items. So when we look at this compliance, what we're looking at is we're less than 10,000 people have registered their products with the state of Illinois, which means roughly you have somewhere between 0.01 and 1% of compliance, and they have till the end of the year. January 1st, they will be felons under the Illinois eyes, legal eyes, and they will be, non-compliant. Well, I'm here to say that non-compliance is not enough. Don't be compliant. I love that they're not being compliant, but that is not enough, because kind of like we talked about recently, was the reason that they're also, like New Jersey and now Illinois, you have to register, you have to go through a background check and register your ammunition as well. So if I go into an ammo store in Illinois and I buy 5.56 ammo, well, they're clearly now going to know that I have some sort of rifle that fires the 5.56. So, and there's a few variables there, but they could pretty much home in on that as pretty quick. And that's why non-compliance is not enough. It's not just that we don't comply and then we move forward. It is not enough. It is not enough. As we go through this election year, there's multiple things that we can do that are non-compliant. One is, pay attention to what people are saying when it comes to the Second Amendment, but more specifically what they're doing when it comes to the Second Amendment, because a lot of times we think, well, if we vote this way, they're pro-Second Amendment. We vote that way, they're not pro-Second Amendment, or anti-Second Amendment. But that's not always how it works. My wife's got a saying. She says, I can't hear what you're saying because your actions are too loud, meaning it doesn't really matter what you say, it's your actions that are speaking too loud. And we need to pay attention to what people are doing. So I'm going to say, a couple things that we really can apply here. Number one, don't just because somebody's part of a certain party think that they're the best candidate to protect your Second Amendment rights. Make sure that you take some time to see what that person has done in the past. How have they voted? More recently, we had the last Congress, we had the gun ban go through the House. How did they vote? How did they vote on that? Pay attention to those things. Don't just vote for them because they are a certain party. Pay attention to what it is they're doing. Because I don't trust either party, to be quite honest. So I look at individuals. When I go to the voting booth, I vote for individual people, not for parties. But beyond that, I believe that lawsuits have to reign in New Jersey and in Illinois. I do believe that you should definitely not be buying ammo in either one of those states, or New York or California, or, but for sure not New Jersey or Illinois, where they're registering all that ammo. Do not participate in that. It's not just about non-compliance. It's about engaging in efforts to overturn this illegal, unconstitutional action from many of our country's leaders, and it has to come to an abrupt end. And I've said this in the past, but growing up in Missouri, I've seen the Second Amendment go extreme left, extreme right, back extreme left, back extreme right, because of how certain elections go. About 5 years ago, we saw Virginia completely change overnight because of one election. We have to be aware that this is a reality, but we can change it in the right direction for sure. We don't have to keep defending ourselves from these anti-Second Amendment elected officials. So there you go. Non-compliance, it just isn't enough. More needs to happen, and it needs to happen now.